Alright guys, so welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video we're going to look at a pair of truly wireless earbuds that has like a very unique look, and it actually has some pretty impressive features, some pretty nice accessories. And they come in at $109, and the pair I'm talking about is the EOZ Airs. Now first off, it is a pair of truly wireless earbuds, which basically is the latest rage. Like everybody right now is coming out with truly wireless earbuds, and there are some very impressive ones, especially in the under $100 market right now. So the fact that these are $109 and from a company you've probably never heard of, it makes you a little hesitant, or at least I was. But when I opened the box, the first thing that I noticed is a really nice charging case. The top is this aluminum, and it has EOZ's logo right up top. The bottom part is a plastic, and then I noticed the USB-C input. USB-C on truly wireless earbuds at this point should be automatic. There should be no more micro USB, so the fact they use USB-C had me right off the bat. Now, battery life on these, the earbuds themselves get about 5.5 hours, where the case gives them an additional 85 hours because of the 2200 milliamp battery. That is really impressive and a huge selling point for somebody that likes to go camping or go on trips and just doesn't want to worry about having to charge the case, because if the case is dead, the truly wireless earbuds are pretty much shot until you can go and charge the case. Now, also included in the box is a pretty good selection of foam ear tips and silicone. Now, the earbuds right out of the box had a foam ear tip on them. I am just not a fan of that, so I quickly changed them to silicone. I was able to get a really good fit, and that is extremely important to be able to get the best sound you can out of truly wireless earbuds. Also inside of the case is the USB-C cable, and they also included this little attachment that gives you the option to hook them to each one of them and basically use them as neckband earbuds. That way, if you're out running or doing something, you need to take them out real quick, they can just kind of hang on your neck instead of actually having to find somewhere to put them. So the earbuds themselves have Bluetooth 5.0. If you're somebody that watches movies or Netflix or YouTube or anything like that, that's important because it keeps you from experiencing any lag. And I didn't experience any in my testing. Now with the earbuds, as soon as you open the case, you can see that both of them are lit up, and that basically is showing you that they are charging, and right underneath that there are lights on the case to show you how much life the case itself has. Now I like that feature because sometimes you're unaware that your case is about to die. Even if these do charge in an additional 85 hours, at some point it's gonna die, and you just kind of want a heads up. Now as soon as you take the earbuds out, you can see they have the little ear hook. Now a lot of people have issues with keeping earbuds in their ears, so this ear hook is keeping it from having a lot of bounce to it or any wiggle room. It is keeping it more stationary in your ear, and I felt like you're able to do a lot more with these in your ear and kind of not having to worry about it. Now the earbuds themselves are touch controls, so they do not have a button, so you're not sitting there jamming these in your ear just to be able to change tracks. But with the touch controls, you can play and pause your music. You can skip your tracks forward, you can go backwards, you can also summon your smart assistant, you can also answer calls as well. Now speaking of that, the microphones are on the tip of both of these, so there is a mic on both the left and the right, and the mic quality on these actually is not bad at all, but you can go ahead and be the judge by listening here. Alright guys, so this is a test of the microphone on the EOZ Airs. As you can tell, it picks up really well. This is what it would sound like taking calls. This is connected straight into my PC. You can see that it's picking up my voice there. It's picking up bass tones really well. It's really clear, and it sounds just as good as if you were talking on the phone. Okay, so the other thing that I want to point out, and another thing that always gets asked, is can you use both of these individually? And the answer is yes and no. You can use the left one by itself. It is the master earbud. So the right one you cannot use alone, just the left. Now the earbuds, you can see the little pin connectors. That's what lines up with the case to allow these to charge. Right next to that is where your left and right is marked. This is the green and black model, but it is also available in a solid black and a solid white. One of the things first off that I want to point out that I did have an issue with from time to time is these would occasionally disconnect for no apparent reason at all. It would disconnect and then automatically go right back to connect. And it is frustrating because if you're listening to something, it disconnecting basically pauses your music. Even when it reconnects, you got to go back to tapping the earbud to get it to resume. And speaking of touch, I also noticed at times it's very hard to get the positioning just right for it to register your touch. So at times you feel like you're kind of touching it around to get it on the right spot. So now let's talk about the sound. The sound is probably the most confusing thing about these, because at times they sound absolutely incredible, and then at other times they don't sound good at all. And it really came down to what I was listening to. If I was listening to like pop, mainstream music, things that are kind of clean and not a whole lot going on, they sounded amazing because the bass is really punchy, the treble is really crystal clear. The mids are the one thing I think were pretty consistent that they were the thing that was lacking. I felt like the mids needed to be pushed a little bit more forward. The bass is definitely doing its job. The treble's definitely coming through until you hit music where there's a lot of stuff going on. Once it starts to get chaotic, like with metal and a lot of rock stuff where you have drums and bass, guitar, vocals, and just a lot of things going on, it almost got to the point where it felt like the earbuds were getting confused, like it didn't know what to separate, it didn't know how to equalize itself, and so at times it just kind of threw it in a ball and it sounded muddy. And so what that was also doing was affecting sound imaging. So normally where I like to hear where things are coming from or hear that there's some distance, it just felt like it was in a ball. It was more closed in front of me, and that just kind of took away from the experience. Now, like I said, it doesn't do it with all genres, but when it does do it, it will ruin the listening experience. So if you're only somebody that listens to mainstream pop music or hip hop, you're fine. If you're somebody that listens to a little bit of everything, I think you're going to be like me, and you're going to find at times you're just going to get frustrated. The one thing that is very important to point out here is even though the accessories are really nice and the battery life having 90 hours with the charging case is really nice, right now the market of truly wireless earbuds is really impressive. Like right now the market from $80 to $100 is solid. So if you're going to be over $100, you need to have something extremely special, especially when it comes to sound, and that is the one weak spot with these, depending on what you're listening to. So at $109, even though this is a very decent pair of truly wireless earbuds, there are just much better options out there, especially where you can even save some money. But guys, that's my video on the EOZ Airs. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.